Sit in the chamber. Can we have the licensing committee, please, sit in the chamber? Huh? He's... Madam Chairman, it's 7 o'clock. At 6 o'clock.
If we could please, this meeting will come to order. Community and Business Development, if the clerk could please call the roll.
Councilor Hanlon?
Here.
Councilor Sani?
Here.
Councilor Capone?
Here.
Chairman DeFlorio?
Thank you. If we could,
4 members present.
we do have a quorum, please stand and salute the flag. And the audience could please join us.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mr. Clerk, if you could please read, we only have one item on the agenda tonight. If you could please read that, we would appreciate it.
Yes. The only item number 1, is an order from Councilor Anthony DePiero as president. New petition for a mechanical license from Protec Services at, it's supposed to be 396 Main Street.
394. 394.
394 Main Street.
Yes, Councilor Hanlon?
The person that owns the station live in Texas. I called him, I have a letter from him, and I also talked to him on the phone tonight saying he has no objection to this person getting a license. So if there's no questions, I want to move favorable action.
So the petitioner is not here?
Petitioner is here, but the owner is not.
The owner's not here?
Owner's not here. Right.
Okay, so do we have any questions from the petitioner?
If I may, Madam Chairman, is this a new license, maybe through you to our assistant clerk?
So this is a current license. They already have a license there. It is a new person taking using the license. So the current owner is leasing it to this gentleman here. He is going to be the new business owner. Property's still owned by the same person, but the license will be under his name now.
Okay, so
That's what the difference is.
so
It's a
the
current license, just under a new
going
operator.
to a new operator?
Correct.
Okay.
Do we have
I would-
questions?
I
for
would
the-
have questions for...
Okay, if we could please
And he
have
is in
the
the audience.
petitioner come up. The new license holder? Yes, over here.
And
Right over here, sir.
I do have a statement from the owner of the property after I can read if you'd like.
Okay, if you could please sit down. Cynthia, put the mic on there, thank you. So, could you please state your name and address for the record?
My name is Carlos Vasconcelos, in the 394 Main Street.
You live at 394 Main Street?
No, I'm living in 12 Rockwood Terrace in Medford.
Could you repeat that, please?
12 Rockwood Terrace, Medford.
Medford, okay. Before we ask any questions, the clerk has a statement that he would like to read. 2 people can't have the mics on because we're getting a lot of complaints, so people can't hear us out there. So if the clerk could please read the statement.
Yeah, it's a letter from the owner of the property stating that he owns the property at 394 Main Street, and he's agreed to allow him to rent the 2 mechanic bays for his own mechanic business. Please allow him to obtain a license. He's an outstanding person and would be an asset to the community.
You, Councilor Capone.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. Through you to our invited guest. So at this particular point in time, you're not operating at that site. You're looking to get a license, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And is it auto repair? Is that
I'll repair.
you're operating at the site now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, under the old license?
Under the owner license.
Okay. So how long have you been at the site?
For 1 year.
1 year? Okay. And so you've been in operation for a year?
Yes, sir.
So all right. Prior to that location, have you operated anywhere else?
Yes, sir, in Somerville
In Somerville? How long were you in Somerville?
for 12 years.
12 years? Okay, so you've been in the industry for a long time.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. I don't have any other questions. Thank you
Any
very
other
much.
questions for the petitioner? If not, excuse with the customary thanks. What's going to happen right now is this board will vote either to send it favorable or unfavorable to our council meeting at 7 o'clock. But at 7 o'clock, everybody has to vote for it. Okay, do you understand? So I would recommend that you go out and get a cup of coffee, or relax, or sit down and come back at 7 o'clock.
Okay,
All right.
thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for appearing. Counsel Capone.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. Through you to our clerk. So the individual's been operating for approximately a year on the site. Do we have any issues, concerns?
No issues. In fact, he's been working with what is actually the present owner.
Okay.
And that spot in general has never had any complaints.
Okay, thank you very much.
Counsel Sani?
What are the operation hours they're having?
Same, right?
Yeah, it'll be same as the previous. See what he's requested. I believe it's 7 AM to 7 PM, is that correct? Right. Yes. Yes.
I recommend favorable action out to the body.
And I'll second.
I have favorable action in a second. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? The ayes have it.
Move to adjourn?
Make a motion to adjourn. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? You have adjourned.
those who sat in, not in this particular, not just in this chamber, but in the old city hall and in the old town hall as selectmen, aldermen, common councilors, and city councilors. It was my belief that their names in this 125th anniversary, that their names should be said at least one more time in this chamber. And then as years go on, the city council, if they so desire, can honor those who were passed in the past year, every year on Memorial Day. But for this particular one, it's a big list. But we felt it was important to say their names. And one reason is, especially as I went through some of these photos, you know, there are photos where, you know, not people that I remember, where not a single member is alive right now. And I just felt it was important because people like that had a big influence on me as a young city official years ago. And I just thought it was important to remember them. And there are a couple of pictures where former Alderman Sasso is the only living member. These people had a big influence on the city and on those of us who sat in these chairs. And some of them are relatives of people who sat in these chairs. So we wanted to remember them. And the president will request that I call the roll. As we say each name, the president, or in some cases, some of the relatives, will answer absent. And then we'll have a moment of silence at the end. And I'm really thrilled at how many people came, and I thank you so much. I really do.
Okay, please call the roll, Mr. Clerk.
Thank you, Mr. President. Oscar L. Allen.
Absent.
George Aiken.
Absent.
DeOscar Allen.
Absent.
Carl Anderson.
Absent.
Granville Anderson.
Absent.
James Anderson.
Absent.
Henry Archibald.
Absent.
Charles Atkins.
Absent.
Charles Atwood.
Absent.
J. Albert Bader.
Absent.
Herbert Babcock.
Absent.
Marco Bagarella.
Absent.
Dudley Bailey.
Absent.
Franklin Bailey.
Absent.
William Barber.
Absent.
Leslie Barney.
Absent.
John Barry.
Absent.
Frank Bartlett.
Absent.
William Barton.
Absent.
Ernest Batchelder.
Absent.
Henry Bates.
Absent.
Fred Beals.
Absent.
Edward Bean.
Absent.
Charles Bierce.
Absent.
Albert Beers.
Absent.
J. Arthur Benner.
Absent.
Frank P. Bennett.
Absent.
Joseph S. Bernard.
Absent.
Carol Bickford.
Absent.
Thomas J. Bishop.
Absent.
Henry Black.
Absent.
Leith Black.
Absent.
Alonzo Blanchard.
Absent.
J. Albert Boder.
Absent.
Hugh Bond.
Absent.
Joseph Bonner.
Absent.
Benjamin Bornstein.
Absent.
Frank Boston.
Absent.
William Bowman.
Absent.
Thomas Boynton.
Absent.
Gustav Braun.
Absent.
George Brickley.
Absent.
William J. Brickley.
Absent.
Alfred Brooks.
Absent.
Charles E. Brown.
Absent.
Charles L. Brown.
Absent.
Chester Brown.
Absent.
James R. Brown.
Absent.
John J. H. Brown.
Absent.
Charles Bruce.
Absent.
James Bruce.
Absent.
John Bruce.
Absent.
Walter Bruce.
Absent.
George Bunton.
Absent.
J. Arthur Burke.
Absent.
George Burr.
Absent.
John Butler.
Absent.
Lawrence Butler.
Absent.
George Buttrick.
Absent.
Francis Byrne.
Absent.
Albert J. Cahill.
Absent.
Jerome J. Cahill.
Absent.
John Cahill.
Absent.
John Hanlon will answer. Carl J. Canderosi.
Absent.
Eugene L. Capuano.
Absent.
Eugene R. Capuano. Anthony Caracciolo.
Absent.
Herbert W. Card.
Absent.
William T. Card.
Absent.
Albert F. Cadillo.
Absent.
Joseph Cadillo.
Absent.
Walter J. Cadillo.
Absent.
Frank Carpenter.
Absent.
Lewis Carroll.
Absent.
John Casey.
Absent.
Leo J. Casey.
Absent.
John Cate.
Absent.
Fred Caitlin,
Absent.
James Chambers,
Absent.
Fred T. Chisholm,
Absent.
Frederick J. Chisholm,
Absent.
Dr. Lester Chisholm,
Absent.
John Seol,
Absent.
Samuel J. Sereno,
Absent.
Fred E. Clark,
Absent.
E. Clarence Colby,
Absent.
Fred M. Colby,
Absent.
Frank W. Collins,
Absent.
William P. Collins,
Absent.
Edward G. Connolly, John F. Connolly,
Absent.
John J. Convery,
Absent.
Lester W. Cooch,
Absent.
Adams B. Cook,
Absent.
Charles Cook,
Absent.
Charles Cook,
Absent.
William R. Cook,
Absent.
William E. Cook,
Absent.
Columbus Corey,
Absent.
Louis F. Cornett,
Absent.
Samuel J. Cox,
Absent.
Alexander Crafts,
Absent.
Prescott Crafts,
Absent.
John N. Cran,
Absent.
Walter Crocker,
Absent.
Philip J. Crowley,
Absent.
William F. Crowley,
Absent.
Chester A. Canane,
Absent.
Stephen C. Currier,
Absent.
Frank D'Agostino,
Absent.
James Daly,
Absent.
Francis Dana,
Absent.
Frederick Daniels,
Absent.
Alfonso Discoli,
Absent.
Antonio Discoli,
Absent.
Lawrence Davis,
Absent.
Lawrence H. Davis,
Absent.
Daniel O. Dearborn,
Absent.
Gilbert Della Sola,
Absent.
Perina J. DeLaurie,
Absent.
Ralph A. DiTilio,
Absent.
Ronaldo DeVito,
Absent.
Chester A. DeVivo,
Absent.
Oliver B. DeCecca,
Absent.
Charles F. Dillaway,
Absent.
Matthew DeMuzio,
Absent.
William W. Dinsmore,
Absent.
Guy J. DiNuccio,
Absent.
Frank A. DiVenuti,
Absent.
James G. DiVenuti,
Absent.
Daniel F. Doherty,
Absent.
Edward A. Doherty,
Absent.
Henry J. Doherty,
Absent.
Joseph B. Doherty,
Absent.
Francis J. Dooley,
Absent.
Leo J. Dooley,
Absent.
William F. Dooley,
Absent.
Frank P. Douglas,
Absent.
Herbert Dowden,
Absent.
Albert Downing,
Absent.
John J. Doyle,
Absent.
William P. Doyle Jr.,
Absent.
Albert B. G. Drake,
Absent.
Theodore Dresser,
Absent.
Fred J. Driscoll,
Absent.
Frederick T. Driscoll,
Absent.
Edward J. Driscoll Jr.,
Absent.
Arthur G. Duncan,
Absent.
Edward J. Duncan,
Absent.
J. Kevin Dunn,
Absent.
Martin J. Durant Jr.,
Absent.
Francis E. Dyer,
Absent.
Paul Ellard,
Absent.
Oscar H. Elliott,
Absent.
William E. Emerton,
Absent.
Louis Infanto,
Absent.
Ambrose T. English,
Absent.
Vincent B. English,
Absent.
Carl Erickson,
Absent.
George Evans,
Absent.
Jeremiah J. Falvey,
Absent.
Alfred Paul Faris,
Absent.
George W. Faulkner,
Absent.
Fred E. Fawcett,
Absent.
Robert K. Farron,
Absent.
Arthur R. Fennel,
Absent.
Albert F. Ferguson,
Absent.
Millard F. Ferguson,
Absent.
William M. Ferguson,
Absent.
William Ferguson,
Absent.
John J. Fiorentino,
Absent.
Staniford Fisher,
Absent.
George W. Fitzgerald,
Absent.
James H. Fitzmaurice,
Absent.
Philip J. Flanders,
Absent.
Joseph J. Fleming,
Absent.
William M. Foberg,
Absent.
Eugene C. Ford,
Absent.
William Ford,
Absent.
Elias B. Forsland,
Absent.
George F. Foster,
Absent.
James E. Freeman,
Absent.
James French,
Absent.
Walter E. French,
Absent.
Haljmar L. Friedstrom,
Absent.
Edgar L. Fuller,
Absent.
Charles A. Furness,
Absent.
Frederick Gilbright,
Absent.
Alexander Gilbright,
Absent.
Francis Gallagher,
Absent.
Joseph Gannon,
Absent.
Timothy Gannon,
Absent.
Charles Garrett,
Absent.
Guy Gary,
Absent.
James A. Gears,
Absent.
Robert Gentile,
Absent.
Samuel Gentile,
Absent.
Carlo Gianelli,
Absent.
Moses Gill,
Absent.
William Gilman,
Absent.
Fred Gleason,
Absent.
Fred Goddard,
Absent.
Roscoe Goddard,
Absent.
Hubert Godfrey,
Absent.
Frank Goki,
Absent.
John Golden,
Absent.
Charles M. Goen,
Absent.
George William Grant,
Absent.
Max Green,
Absent.
Isaac Greenberg,
Absent.
Charles Green,
Absent.
Chester Greenwood,
Absent.
John Gregson,
Absent.
Edward J. Griffin,
Absent.
V. Arthur Griffin,
Absent.
Edward J. Griffin Jr.,
Absent.
William C. Gunderson,
Absent.
Darius Hadley,
Absent.
Frank W. Hall,
Absent.
Morris B. Hall,
Absent.
Robert H. Hall,
Absent.
Philip Ham,
Absent.
Woodbury Ham,
Absent.
Winfield S. Hamlin,
Absent.
Clarence Hammond,
Absent.
John Hanna,
Absent.
Fred Hansen,
Absent.
Fred J. Hansen,
Absent.
Francis A. Hansen,
Absent.
Walter Harding,
Absent.
Alva Hardy,
Absent.
James A. Hare,
Absent.
Arthur Harrington,
Absent.
Absent.
Henry Harrington,
Absent.
John C. Harrington,
Absent.
William T. Harrington,
Absent.
Amos B. Harris,
Absent.
Joseph B. Harris,
Absent.
Bertram Harrison Sr.,
Absent.
William J. Hart,
Absent.
Isaac C. Harvey,
Absent.
Walter Harvey,
Absent.
Arthur Hatch,
Absent.
Alpheus R. Henderson,
Absent.
John D. Henderson,
Absent.
William H. Henderson,
Absent.
John Henneberry,
Absent.
Joseph Hearn,
Absent.
Fred Hibbett,
Absent.
Thomas Higgins,
Absent.
Edwin Hilton,
Absent.
Clinton Hobbs,
Absent.
Edward Hogan,
Absent.
Edward P. Hogan,
Absent.
Richard D. Hogan,
Absent.
Thomas J. Holmes,
Absent.
John F. Homans,
Absent.
S. Frank Hormans,
Absent.
Winifred L. Howe, M.D.,
Absent.
James F. Howell,
Absent.
Thomas J. Huey,
Absent.
Ralph Hughes,
Absent.
Thomas Hughes,
Absent.
William Hughes,
Absent.
George Hussey,
Absent.
Franklin C. Hyde.
Absent. Sure.
Should I continue, madam?
Absolutely.
Charles H. Jackson,
Absent.
John Jackson,
Absent.
Henry Jancy,
Absent.
Robert H. Jenkins,
Absent.
Charles E. Jennings,
Absent.
Fred Johnson,
Absent.
Harry Johnson,
Absent.
Arthur Jordan,
Absent.
John H. Jordan,
Absent.
John J. Joy,
Absent.
Christian A. Youth,
Absent.
Walter Katzman,
Absent.
Edward F. Keefe,
Absent.
John F. Keefe,
Absent.
William L. Keefe,
Absent.
Oliver G. Kelly,
Absent.
John P. Kennedy,
Absent.
George Kavarian,
Absent.
Barrett A. King,
Absent.
Joseph King,
Absent.
Alfred LaCava,
Absent.
E. Emmett Lally,
Absent.
John Lane,
Absent.
Otto Lang,
Absent.
G. Joseph Leahy,
Absent.
Sylvanus LeBaron,
Absent.
Rose M. LaCour,
Absent.
James Lee,
Absent.
Lawrence Leggett,
Absent.
Robert Layton,
Absent.
Anthony Leo,
Absent.
John Lepore,
Absent.
Frank E. Lewis,
Absent.
Herbert Lewis,
Absent.
Frank E. Lewis Jr.,
Absent.
Christopher Little,
Absent.
Everett Littlefield,
Absent.
George Locke,
Absent.
William E. Locke,
Absent.
William H. Locke,
Absent.
Willard P. Lombard,
Absent.
E. B. Loring,
Absent.
W. H. Lounsbury,
Absent.
Joseph Lovegren,
Absent.
Edward Lowe,
Absent.
George Lowe,
Absent.
Robert Lucci,
Absent.
Emil Lundgren,
Absent.
Frank Lurvy,
Absent.
James Lynch,
Absent.
John Lynch,
Absent.
John McKenzie,
Absent.
Joseph F. Mackey,
Absent.
Raymond McKinnon,
Absent.
Nelson McQuarrie,
Absent.
John W. Madden,
Absent.
John J. McGee,
Absent.
Carl Magnuson,
Absent.
William T. Mahoney,
Absent.
Charles Manser,
Absent.
Daniel Manser,
Absent.
William Mansfield,
Absent.
George Markham,
Absent.
R. Henry Marsh,
Absent.
Alfred Marshall,
Absent.
Augustus Marshall,
Absent.
George Marshall,
Absent.
Benjamin Mason,
Absent.
Edwin Mason,
Absent.
Francis Matthews,
Absent.
George Matthews,
Absent.
Frank Matuccio, Peter J. McCarron,
Absent.
Harold R. McCausland,
Absent.
Leonard J. McDonald,
Absent.
John T. McGee,
Absent.
Thomas J. McGee,
Absent.
Daniel J. McGonigal,
Absent.
Joseph W. McGonigal,
Absent.
Owen E. McGonigal,
Absent.
Joseph A. McHale,
Absent.
Daniel McKenzie,
Absent.
George J. McKeon,
Absent.
William J. McLaughlin,
Absent.
Albert T. McLean.
Absent.
C. Murray McLean.
Absent.
John P. McMurray.
Absent.
C. Joseph McNamara.
Absent.
Michael McNamara.
Absent.
James T. McNeil.
Absent.
John McNeil.
Absent.
Charles McNeil.
Absent.
Henry McQueenie.
Absent.
Alexander McCrae.
Absent.
Gordon McCrae.
Absent.
Nathaniel J. Meade.
Absent.
William B. Menza.
Absent.
Richard G. Mercer.
Absent.
Harvey W. Merrill.
Absent.
Raymond Miller.
Absent.
Thomas Milligan.
Absent.
James Monahan.
Absent.
Daniel L. Moore.
Absent.
John Moore.
Absent.
John C. Moore.
Absent.
J. Tilson Morrill.
Absent.
Edward H. Morris.
Absent.
John J. Mullen.
Absent.
George A. Murphy.
Absent.
James T. Murphy.
Absent.
John F. Murray.
Absent.
Joseph N. Murray.
Absent.
Philip Napolitano.
Absent.
J. Howard Nason.
Absent.
J. Arthur Nelson.
Absent.
Will A. Newton.
Absent.
Archibald Nickel.
Absent.
Charles C. Nichols.
Absent.
George F. Nichols.
Absent.
Joseph E. Nichols.
Absent.
Walter H. Nichols.
Absent.
Frank E. Nickerson.
Absent.
Thomas H. Nolan.
Absent.
Daniel J. Noyes.
Absent.
Lester Oberlander.
Absent.
Philip J. O'Donnell.
Absent.
Michael A. O'Gara.
Absent.
Christopher O'Keefe.
Absent.
Daniel J. O'Leary.
Absent.
Elmer C. Oliver.
Absent.
Austin O'Malley.
Absent.
Arthur L. Ormsgood.
Absent.
Charles A. Osgood.
Absent.
Charles E. Osgood.
Absent.
That's Arthur Ormsby. Charles L. Payne.
Absent.
Charles H. Paisley.
Absent.
Hayden Palmer.
Absent.
Hector J. Patterson.
Absent.
George W. Pierce.
Absent.
Francis N. Pelosi.
Absent.
Harry H. Perkins.
Absent.
Thomas F. Philbin.
Absent.
Walter A. Phippen.
Absent.
George F. Pierce.
Absent.
Leo T. Pierce.
Absent.
John Peeney.
Absent.
Ernest S. Pippy.
Absent.
Nathaniel B. Plummer.
Absent.
James R. Plunkett.
Absent.
Richard Plunkett.
Absent.
Ernest Porter.
Absent.
Joseph Power.
Absent.
P. Richmond Pratt.
Absent.
Loring Puffer.
Absent.
Benjamin Randall.
Absent.
Everett Ray.
Absent.
Ernest E. Reevy.
Absent.
Frank Reed.
Absent.
James F. Reynolds.
Absent.
James C. Rice.
Absent.
Frank B. Rich.
Absent.
Don Albert Riley.
Absent.
John F. Riley.
Absent.
Michael J. Riley.
Absent.
Foreman's K. Robbins.
Absent.
William W. Robinson.
Absent.
Horace Rocco.
Absent.
John J. Rocco.
Absent.
Joseph Rocco.
Absent.
Salvatore Rocco.
Absent.
James A. Roach.
Absent.
Arthur T. Rogers.
Absent.
John E. Rogers.
Absent.
William A. Rogers.
Absent.
Louis E. Ross.
Absent.
Norman T. Ross.
Absent.
Thomas Rossetti.
Absent.
Severio A. Rossi.
Absent.
Charles H. Russell.
Absent.
George E. Russell.
Absent.
Mr. President, Mr. Chairman. George P. Sargent.
Absent.
Fred E. Sauer.
Absent.
Edward F. Savage.
Absent.
James W. Savage.
Absent.
William J. Sharperly.
Absent.
Edward L. Scholes.
Absent.
Thomas Scholes.
Absent.
W. John Seal.
Absent.
Paul Sears.
Absent.
John A. Seller.
Absent.
Fred W. Sellers.
Absent.
Anthony Serino.
Absent.
Joseph F. Shackley.
Absent.
Cornelius M. Shea.
Absent.
Albert T. Shepard.
Absent.
William P. Shepard.
Absent.
George F. Shields.
Absent.
I. Stevenson Shalady.
Absent.
James H. Shalady.
Absent.
Louis C. Simonelli.
Absent.
Peter V. Simonelli.
Absent.
Alec T. Small.
Absent.
Charles W. Smith.
Absent.
Chester Smith.
Absent.
Lewis Smith.
Absent.
Robert T. Smith.
Absent.
George Smith, Jr.
Absent.
Charles F. Spencer.
Absent.
Charles H. Spencer.
Absent.
Patrick J. Spillane.
Absent.
Gilbert W. Starble.
Absent.
Charles H. Stebbins.
Absent.
George W. Stevens.
Absent.
Harold W. Stevens.
Absent.
William M. Stoddard,
Absent.
John H. Stone,
Absent.
Grant Stoneberg,
Absent.
Albert G. Stowell,
Absent.
Albert G. Strahan,
Absent.
William A. Straight,
Absent.
Kenneth R. Strong,
Absent.
John F. Sullivan,
Absent.
Joseph P. Sullivan,
Absent.
Rowland E. Swan,
Absent.
Daniel J. Sweeney,
Absent.
John H. Sweeney,
Absent.
E. Leroy Sweetser,
Absent.
Leon S. Swift,
Absent.
William A. Tabb,
Absent.
John J. Talbot,
Absent.
Guy Teixeira,
Absent.
Richard Tate,
Absent.
George Tate Jr.,
Absent.
Charles Taylor,
Absent.
Edward C. Thayer,
Absent.
George N. Thompson,
Absent.
Clark Thompson,
Absent.
Walter F. Thompson,
Absent.
Edward G. Thurber,
Absent.
Virgil W. Toby,
Absent.
George H. Toothaker,
Absent.
J. Earl Townsend,
Absent.
Eben S. Tracy,
Absent.
Richard J. Troy,
Absent.
Louis P. True,
Absent.
Charles O. Tukey,
Absent.
Francis Twells,
Absent.
George Upton,
Absent.
Julian H. Van Voorhees,
Absent.
H. W. Van Voorhees,
Absent.
Brenton W. Vaughn,
Absent.
Richard C. Vandola,
Absent.
Henry Vetrano Jr.,
Absent.
Clarence W. Wallace,
Absent.
Freeman L. Wallace,
Absent.
William Walters,
Absent.
Charles Ward,
Absent.
Calvin E. Warren,
Absent.
Charles F. Wasburn,
Absent.
Herbert P. Wasget,
Absent.
Eugene L. Weber,
Absent.
Albert V. Werner,
Absent.
Henry E. Wells,
Absent.
Alpheus E. White,
Absent.
Sumner G. Whittier,
Absent.
Samuel O. Wilkinson,
Absent.
Edward J. Wilson,
Absent.
George S. Wilson,
Absent.
George W. Wilson,
Absent.
Isaac T. Winchester,
Absent.
George F. Wood,
Absent.
George H. Wood,
Absent.
Dana Yerxa,
Absent.
Arthur E. Zacula,
Absent.
Arthur F. Zappi, Max Zwiegbaum.
Absent. Could we please rise for a moment of silence?
I want to thank everybody who came this evening. I hope we've enjoyed the presentation behind us. And I'm really thrilled to see so many former councilors there in the audience, remembering those that we knew and those that we didn't, but all those who served before us. And I just want to thank you all and the families of some of the past members. It's certainly a pleasure. It was an honor for me simply to say those names. And I want to thank Councilor Napolitano, Councilor DeFlorio, and of course, our president for helping in answering the role. We're going to try to have a small reunion of all of us down at the 810 after our meeting. And I hope all of you will come down, and it'd be good to see you all again. And I hope that everyone enjoys the 125th anniversary. This is just a small part of it. I want to thank, again, those who came. I see the Capuano family. I see Mrs. Hanlon, whose father, Carl, and former councilors, Miller, and Kay Hicks, and I don't have my glasses on, John Rigucci. And of course, like Stephen Simonelli, a third generation, like Councilor Simonelli, a third generation in Joseph McGonigal, whose father and grandfather served. Barbara Collins, I see the Della Sola family is here, remembering Gil, Councilor Ranieri, Councilor Smith, former Councilor Smith, Councilor Mangan, Councilor O'Hara, Councilor Hart, remembering his grandfather, was it? His grandfather, Councilor Keene, always one of the most entertaining people we had up here. Someone I respect more than probably anyone I've ever served with, Counselor DePerry, Alderman DePerry and Counselor DePerry. Great to see you here. Did I say you, John? Did I go right over John Rigucci? John Rigucci, and, oh, my goodness, and the Conley family, thank you so much. I really appreciate having you here, of course, remembering your dad and Counselor Troy, who we all of us in my generation who came in at that time, all respected Richard so much. So we want to thank you all for coming, and we hope you'll join us for, for the little reunion, and thank you. I think we can adjourn.